into reading. Step 4. Choppers by Susan E. Goodman and Michael J. Doolittle. Chapter 1. Those amazing machines. A forest fire is blazing. The flames are spreading faster than a man can run. Firefighters chop down trees. They dig trenches. They race to get the fire under control. A helicopter also helps battle the blaze. It swoops down to a nearby pond. In seconds, it sucks up enough water to fill 50 bathtubs. Then it dumps the water on the fire. The helicopter starts back to fill its tank again. Then a call comes in. Flames are surrounding some of the firefighters. Soon they will be trapped. The chopper flies right over. It hovers near the men. Its blades produce a strong wind. The wind pushes the flames back. The firefighters run to safety. Whirlybirds, choppers, egg beaters. Whatever you call them, helicopters are amazing machines. Airplanes must move forward to fly. But helicopters can fly forward, backward, and sideways. They can also hover, fly in one spot, as long as they have fuel. Airplanes need long runways to take off and land. Helicopters can shoot straight up into the air. They can come straight down again. Helicopters can land in small spaces. They can land on mountains. Some can even land on water. Choppers can go places that cars and planes cannot reach. Some helicopters zoom along at up to 250 miles an hour. Some fly over 3 miles high. Choppers can do jobs that other machines cannot. Scientists who study volcanoes use helicopters all the time. How else could they safely watch an erupting crater and see its lava up close? During the 60s and 70s, space capsules returning to Earth landed in the ocean. A ship was always waiting nearby, but it couldn't get to the astronauts very fast. The chopper on the ship's deck could. It rushed to find the capsule bobbing in the water. Its job was to carry the capsule back to the ship. But first, divers jumped out of the helicopter and into the ocean. They swam to the capsule. They opened its door and welcomed the astronauts home. Here are the basic parts of a helicopter. Rotor blades. Instrument panel. Cockpit. Landing skids. Rotor shaft. Tail rotor. Engine. Tail boom. Tail fin. Chapter 2. How does it work? Helicopter blades are actually thin wings. They are shaped like airplane wings. Air moves past these blades when they spin. The air rushes really fast over the top of the blades. It moves more slowly underneath them. This difference pushes the helicopter into the sky. A chopper pilot tilts the blades to change direction. To fly forward, the pilot tips them forward. To fly backward, the pilot tilts them back. Even long ago, people dreamed of using spinning wings to fly. Over 2,400 years ago, the Chinese made flying toys. They worked like this one. In 1483, the artist Leonardo da Vinci drew his idea of a flying machine. He never built it. To make a helicopter fly, the blades must turn very fast. They need a light, powerful engine to do the work. The gasoline engine was invented in 1885. With this, the helicopter was on its way. In 1907, a Frenchman named Paul Cornu made the first helicopter flight. His machine only flew for a few seconds. It barely got off the ground, but it was a great start. As engines got better, so did helicopters. Igor Sikorsky flew the first working American helicopter in 1939. He had added a rotor to the tail. This second set of blades kept the helicopter steady. In 1945, Sikorsky added another part to his helicopter, a special hoist. It was a cable that could be lowered and cranked up. It could be used to rescue people. This invention was tested sooner than anyone could have imagined. In November of that year, the police called the helicopter factory. A barge had crashed into a reef. A hurricane kept other boats from saving the two sailors on the wrecked ship. The Sikorsky helicopter flew to the barge. Its hoist hadn't really been used before. This test was an important one. It could save 2 lives. The pilot lowered the cable. One sailor looped it under his arms. Then up he went. The helicopter was too small to bring him inside. First he, then his friend, rode through hurricane winds safely to shore. Chapter 3. Choppers at Work. Not long ago, a family went on a picnic. One minute, the youngest son was there eating a sandwich. The next minute, he was missing. His parents searched for him for hours. Then they called for help. Soon the police arrived in their chopper, Trooper 1. They started flying over the nearby woods. They could not see through the trees. But they didn't need to. The helicopter had a special camera that recorded heat. Trooper 1 flew back and forth. Then its pilot yelled out. The camera found a warm object. It was the boy. He was lost in the forest. Mission accomplished. Everyday helicopters are used to find people, fight fires, and spray crops with chemicals to help them grow. Over land and sea, choppers are hard at work. Helicopters also help build everything from bridges to buildings to electrical towers. They can even give workers a safe place to stand. Helicopters can carry very heavy loads. They can also carry people. Choppers called medevacs are flying ambulances. They rush people to hospitals at over 150 miles an hour. And they don't need sirens. Some helicopters work as air taxis. They fly into the middle of cities. They can land on top of buildings. Their passengers avoid traffic jams on busy highways. Other helicopters help the drivers on the roads avoid traffic jams. Radio and television reporters fly high above city streets and bridges. They tell drivers which roads are too crowded to use. Choppers work in open spaces as well as crowded ones. Out west, wild mustangs run free on the plains. Every few years these horses need a checkup. It used to take cowboys on horseback a long time to find them all. Helicopter cowboys round up the horses in no time. Scientists sometimes catch animals to study them, but getting close to a grizzly bear can be dangerous. So scientists track them with helicopters. From inside the chopper, they shoot the grizzly with a dart. The dart contains medicine to make the bear sleep. Then the scientists can land and do their tests before the bear wakes up. Helicopters can also track criminals. Looking down from the sky, police can search big areas very quickly. They often can find crooks more easily than police on the ground. A few years ago, some smugglers snuck into the United States to sell drugs. They left by boat. They thought they had gotten away with their crime. But no! A government chopper was on their trail. The smuggler's boat was fast, but the chopper stayed right over them. Its engine roared. Its blades created 100-mile-per-hour winds. The crooks had no way to escape.